agree with sex education at any stage because the parent is not involved.
Thank you. See, however, I read online that the guidelines suggest that most of the schools should take place. I mean, sex education should take place in year 6. But before the transition to secondary school, however, many campaigners, including the Sex Education Forum, believe that starting at year 6 is too late. So do you agree with that? That starting at year 6 is too late for them to be taught about sex education?
Too late for who?
For the children to be taught sex education.
As Coach has already stated, for you to want to teach children, our children, sex education at a tender age, what is it that you are hoping to achieve?
Yeah.
Because when we were growing up, we didn't know anything about sex.
That's right.
Until we reached a stage, an age where we could understand what sex was all about. And that was the job of the grandmothers to teach, not anybody else. So are you saying we're going to let our children go to school to learn something for them to come back and experiment, and then point back the finger at the parents and saying, you're bad parents, you don't know how to look after you can't raise your own children? Is that what
they're trying to achieve?
Exactly. So you need to look at it from the parents' angle and find out what it is you're trying to achieve. And why are you trying to teach them sex at an early age? Are you trying to tell them that they need to start reproducing now? Are you teaching them because you want them to know about sex so that stay away from it? Or are you teaching them so that they can go out and experiment? Those are questions that need answering.
Thank you very much. You know, I read online that because they were being taught science subject in school, and they've been taught about how animals mate together, you know, to bring babies. So they believe that they've been taught science subjects in school. They should therefore teach them as well about sex education. Do you really think that matters?
Well, the sex of animals and the sex of human beings is definitely not the same category, because the sex of human beings has got morality connected to it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we are highly social animals who are developed at a very high intelligence level. So the things that we do as human beings have got immediate consequences, you know, from unplanned situations to diseases to there's just so many complications, you know, some things that can hinder a child's learning, you know. And even in this United Kingdom, you can just find out that the level of sexually transmitted diseases that are being found in young people is extremely high. Okay? So you can't really say just because of a science class then we need to immediately teach that to the children without the responsibility. So what we're doing is we are giving a right without having a responsibility. So every time you make something a right, you must immediately attach a responsibility. But from the words that are coming out from the media, the government machinery, the aspects of morality are being removed. So we're just being given the freedom to do something without actually the things that hold it together. So there's no standards. It's try everything, do everything, and it's just like that. That's why parents are more alarmed, you know, and the people who are coming from faith backgrounds, really they find themselves in a very difficult place because they feel a loss of power because of there's no morality to the aspect of the sex education. Is I will tell you what to do, do it, but whatever consequences there are, it's your own business.
Thank you. So do you think that parents should allow their kids to be taught sex education in primary school?
No.
Why do you say no?
Okay. For me, my children are grown. They're really grown. But I have so many other children that are not biologically mine.
Yeah.
And right now, I can give you an example. I've got a niece, 10-year-old niece. She would not come to me and tell me, Auntie, I've just kissed a boy, because she knows I'll take off my glasses, put them on the table, and give her that evil look. So we need to distinguish what are the rights of the parents?
Yeah.
Why are you taking the parents' right away from them to raise their children the way they should be raised? Children, some children are raised in faith backgrounds, as coach says. Some are just allowed to do whatever they feel like doing. What are the consequences there? So if I'm going to be, someone is going to come to me and says, okay, you give me the responsibility. Here is my child. Can you please be a mentor for my child? Will I agree for them to learn sex education at a tender age? No, I won't. I won't. I am grateful. I grew up in an era where education was coming up and we could explore our minds. And then I had a strong grandmother on my side. You dare do something wrong. The grandmother's job was to mold me into a woman of respect, of woman of substance. And I believe my grandmother did that very, very well.
That's good.
And for me, I'm going to pass that on to I've passed that on to my daughters already. I'm still passing that on to my nieces and my grandchildren, those that are coming. So why would I want them to learn about sex? So they can go out and experience all these things, and then they come back and say, what has happened? Because I tried this. Now I've got a small baby. Like I normally say, the baby has had a baby. And then what?
Baby carrying babies.
Exactly. So then, and then what? Whose responsibility would that be? Because I don't see, will the government come in and say, oh, because we taught you sex education early, now you've got a small baby you're looking after, we're going to help you and help you raise this child. Do they do that? Is there evidence of them doing that? So whose responsibility would that be to look after that child that has been brought into the world? Exactly.
Actually, I wanted to add something to that. It's like, you know, in Africa we say, generally, a child is raised by a village. So even for me, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I know there are things that I'm unable to tell my daughter directly. Like, I don't want you to do this, because we have a gender disparity. I'm a man, she's a lady. Okay, I'm hoping some of those things the mother is going to be able to communicate to her. But at the same time, I have made an alliance with other people, like my dear sister over there, whom I've spoken to directly and said, look, I've got a daughter. There are many things that are going to pass me by.
Of course.
But as she grows up, please watch over her directly. And when this subject comes up, please address it with all the wisdom that you can master to help my daughter. So it's not like us parents, we are not interested in our children knowing about sex. We just know that it must be in a controlled environment with trusted people, with morals added to them, and definitely everything is being done to the protection of the child. Because this same sex that people want is a very powerful force that many of the scandals you're hearing on television, many of the people being abducted, people trafficking, all these things are coming only from sex. So why isn't the government, for example, paying more attention to the sex education that has got something to do with protecting the child? Why are they putting other agendas of just bringing so much information, so much mature information in a very mature mind? What are they trying to achieve? Are they trying to desensitize our children? Okay, so now this, because the government does not talk to the parent has to be suspicious and ask. This desensitization is much like what you see when there's a war. Children who are born in war, they have less appreciation for human life. Why? There are bombs, dead people, people getting chopped off, and all those sorts of things. Less appreciation. So if we do the same to our children by bringing this sex right there in the open, all of it uncut, here it is raw, like pornography, children will never appreciate the blessings of what sex was meant for, and what it can be, and how they can be safe with it.
Thank you.
And they'll never respect anyone else involved in it, including themselves.
You know, one of the major reasons why I changed my daughter's school to a school to an academic school, because in academics and free school aren't required by law to follow the national curriculum. so they may not follow these programs. But all these skills, I think they're required to follow. But if your kids are going to like academic primary school, they are not required by law to follow the programs. So which is why I decided to put my daughter in academic school, because I know they don't teach them sex education. Because for your child to be taught sex education, that means at the age of 9. Because they finish primary school at the age of 11. So if you're thinking of teaching them at the age of 9, 10, 11, so if you're saying year 5, so we've got people that are born late. So we're talking about kids being taught sex education from the age of 9. That's way too young.
Way too young.
I wouldn't want my daughter to be taught, sex education in primary school. Because even without you even teaching them sex education, they see a lot online these days. Don't forget, these are kids that have access to the internet. Whatever it is they say, they want to try it. So, if you're teaching them sex education, I can bet it with you, these kids are coming home to search for it online. And you would not even know when they're doing it. This is what they've been taught. It's been stuck in their brain. Just maths, English, science, everything. My daughter comes home, Mommy, this is what they taught us in school today. I had problems solving this. Mommy, can you help me? So you can imagine if they're being taught sex education, they're definitely coming home to ask you questions, and if you don't want to talk about it, they will go behind your back and look for answers themselves. Not only they want to look for answers, believe me, they will come to a point that they will want to try it.
That's true. It's I think you've really hit the nail on the head. You've got media you have to contend with, apart from the government saying, okay, this is in the syllabus, but you've got the media that you have to contend with. And the way we were raised when we were growing, we didn't have internet. But if we wanted to find something, we'd always wait for our older cousins when they think they're talking in secret, would go out to the window and eavesdrop.
Yeah.
That was our internet.
Yes.
So we would hear what they're saying.
Everything. Yeah.
And then we'll go, no, did you hear what they said? No, you didn't hear properly. This is what they were saying. And that's how we did our own research, so to speak. But dare you be caught, you knew you were going to get a beating that would make you realize that eavesdropping is bad. Nowadays, I'm always shouting at my brother there, telling him, switch off the TV. Why do you always want this babysitter to look after my nephews and my nieces? Switch it off. No, there must be time. And we argue. And then so what he does, he's got controlled what the children are watching. Because the other day I was looking at the cartoons and I'm thinking, and then I was asking, when did cartoons start dying? So when did cartoons start kissing? And they're saying, oh, where have you been? I said, what do you mean, where have I been? I've been right here, but I don't, I'm not paying too much attention to what the media are telling our children. Some of the cartoons, when I look at them and I'm thinking, this has got an adult theme. Why are these kids sitting here listening and watching this thing? And I'm looking at the parents thinking, can you hear what I'm hearing? Maybe we understand things on a different level. So we have a lot to fight against. Media. We really have to. What happened to just watching Tom and Jerry and Scooby-Doo? The old-fashioned way. Because I saw the other day the new Scooby-Doo. I was thinking, okay, now this is, this is not right. How do you spoil someone's childhood? And because you can't get it back. Why are you taking children from the point of innocence to a point where there's no coming back from?
That's deep.
So it's either the conspiracy is with the media, either the government is scared of the media, or the media makes the government. Okay, so
it's either one of the two.
One of the two. Either the government is scared of the media, or the media actually is what gives you the government. So there's nothing the government can do to the media to regulate them, to watch. There are so many levels of media that the government should actually watch and say, no, look, this is actually not right. If even just watching mere cartoons already these things are creeping in. So therefore now a parent has to make sure that they start limiting screen time. You know, you can watch this show for 30 minutes when the show is done and that's it. That's enough TV for you for the day. You can't, anytime, even we had bought our daughter a mobile phone for the purposes of that when she takes, because she started now walking to school alone.
Yeah.
For safety, that when you are at school, call us you've arrived.
Yeah.
And when you're returning home, call us so that we can know that you're on your way.
You've arrived. I did that with my daughter as well.
In between that, as she's familiarizing herself with her friends and she downloads this app that all her friends are using, when we go to look at this app on her phone, it's called something called Episodes. And the themes there are for adults. And the cliffhangers in that series is the anticipation of kissing and what the next thing kissing will lead to. Fondling, touching, and all those sorts of things. So they'll cut the story, they wait for the cliffhanger. And these are kids. So now, pedophiles, the ones managing the media so that they can groom our children to the level they want people to be, who is doing all these things? So we have now this conversation of saying, like we have come here today, is what should we do to make this conversation strong enough that we have an alliance of parents, uncles, aunties, and grandparents who can now start pushing back and say we want our homes to be safe places again.
Yeah, that's right. You know. Thank you very much. If you're joining us once again, you know, what we're talking about is sex education in primary school. Can you just please help me to put the number to call in on the screen? If you want to call in, if you have something to say, please feel free to call in. Your contribution is allowed. So thank you very much. You know, I'm happy that I don't have to be worried about what they teach them at my daughter's school, because I know that academic don't allow it. But even apart the fact that academic don't allow it, most kids knows how kids have been born. They knows how babies have been born already, without us even telling them how they have been conceived. They knows daddy has to meet mommy for mommy to be pregnant. You know what my daughter says at times, I'm like, I've not said any of these things to you. How did you know all these things? Then I realize that they talk with friends. They tell each other stuff at school. So you can now imagine telling them more about the things they've got idea, the things they have just little knowledge about. So now you exposing it, bringing it to the table, these kids will want to try it. And which is why I say to parents, whatever you do in front of your kids, please be very, very careful of what you say or what you do. Even as a parent, be careful. They do not only say, but they practice. And there's this proverb that says that practice makes perfect. Believe me, they'll keep practicing until they know that they are perfect at doing it. So if you're teaching our kids about sex education in primary school at the age of year 5, I don't know what else you want to teach them. The only topic they'll be interested in will be the sex education. And they are too young. Their brain is too small to take that, to carry that. You know, sex education is a very big and a large topic for them to know in primary school. We've got things, you know, in year 6, by year 6, I want my daughter to tell me what she wants to do in uni, what course she wants to do. I don't want to start telling my daughter how you'll be able to conceive a child, how you're going to get married, how you're going to be kissing. You know what I mean? I want to come home, sit with my daughter, go through so many things, so many subjects with her, so many things you can be. If you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a gynecologist, you want to be so many things. These are the things I want my daughter to talk about. I don't want my daughter to come home and start asking me about sex education. So please, we are appealing to the government. Please, 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 do make a change. I know some parents are in support of this, and I know some parents are not in support. But if you can raise our voice as parents, if you can have one voice, we can stop this sex education in primary school. I wouldn't mind secondary school, to be honest. But primary school, no. I believe we should say no to sex education in primary school. Thank you so much. So, back to the second topic. My second topic today is why do men cheat? And who do they cheat with? I have my reason for saying who do they cheat with before people start calling in and start saying, is it only men that cheat? Yeah, I know it's not only men that cheat. Women also cheat. But the major concern is today is why do men cheat and who do they cheat with? Obviously, men are not going to cheat with themselves. I know we've got gays. But these are not questions for gays. These are why do men cheat and who do they cheat with? So I'm going to... Oh, thank you. We've got a call. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Sorry, where are you calling from and what's your name?
Nigeria.
Okay.
From Nigeria.
Oh, thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
So what's your question and who's your question for?
Yes, I want to contribute to the topic that you're treating today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, so I would like to first commend you. Thank you so much for this topic and well done.
Thank you.
Then I will say that there are things that we can teach children, you understand. From a particular age, you treat them when they start having their menstrual cycles and how to stay away from sex, you understand. From like 10, 12, from that age, they should know that by the time they start engaging in sexual intercourse, they might get pregnant. So they should avoid meeting with men. That's when the females start having a menstrual period. So there's nothing wrong in sitting them down at that age. From 10 years, 11, 12, 13. You understand? So not teaching them how to make babies or how to have sex. No. What you need to teach them from 10, 11, 12 is about their menstrual cycles. As their body's changing, you know, you can be pregnant. You have to be careful. You know, all those things. These are the things to teach them. Then the boys too, you need to let them know. You know, from I think their own is much later, like 14, 15 or so. So you need to let them also know that they have to be careful with girls. Don't get somebody pregnant now. You're still going to school. You know, those are the things. And you need to let them know that a man and a woman meeting together, they might get pregnant, you know, but not when they are still young, when they are still minor. You know, a child at 5 years old is still very, very young. So that's what I have to say today.
Thank you very much. That's a good point. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you so much.
All right. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, bye. You know, I think she actually raised a good point.
Yes, I think what I missed to say in the other one was before we go to why men cheat. Is to actually say, I think from the home front, in as much as I'm not very happy with the government or the media, but I think in the home, mom and dad, uncle, auntie, grandmother, we must agree on what we're going to start telling the children.
Yeah.
And sometimes the burden is put a lot on the girls to say, we have to teach the girls, we have to do this to the girls, the girls. But I think fathers must also rise up, you know, and tell their son, say, my son, I'm not expecting you to have sex. I'm not expecting you to have impregnating anybody. I'm not expecting you to have a string of girlfriends. I want you to focus on school and not focus on that. But the father must talk about sex to the son directly and talk about the dangers, all the issues that are there hiding and inside, so that when the son leaves the house, he knows he's got the father's conversation in the head. So I think for a long time, we have been very reluctant. We just think like whatever the problems will happen are not my problems, because you know he will go do and he'll come back. The mother is there. So, but I think as far as, because I've got both genders, yes, I've got two girls and a son. I think I should tell my son in the same way I'm watching over my daughters, not for him to go create that problem for someone else's house.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, I'm so happy she said what she said, because I remember we used to have home economics in grade 7 in primary school, and in the home economics class, bearing in mind I'm talking about Zambia, where we had single sex schools, like
all boys, all girls.
All girls, all boys. Yeah. And there were very few co-ed schools where there was a mixture of both genders. And this primary school I was at in grade 7, whether you liked it or not, all the girls, we had to take home economics. And in the home economics class, the teacher would tell us about hygiene, periods are coming,
Yeah.
if you've got, if you notice that your body is changing and stuff like that, they would give you a little heads up. But then at the end of the day, that's why the grandmothers were there, because your grandmothers would see the changes, and then it was her responsibility to come and teach you how to stay away from boys. Like for me, for instance, when I was growing up, my grandmother lied to me and told me that if I touch a man in his hand, that's it, I'll get pregnant.
That's it.
I used to run away from boys. Come extending your hand for a handshake, I'm gone. And probably that's why I was very good at 100 meters, because that worked.
It's true.
It can't work now.
So funny.
It
It's
cannot
true.
work now. And when we started learning about the sexual reproduction, I was in secondary school in grade 10. That was senior secondary school.
Yeah.
In grade 10, that's when we had the full thing on sex education in secondary school.
Yeah. I believe it should be taught in secondary school and not primary school.
Yes.
Thank you so
Delay.
much, Kola. Thank you. You raise a good point. Okay, yeah, back to the second topic. Why do men cheat? And who do they cheat with? I know so many people will be interested in this topic. Please, the number to call in is on the screen. Please call in and get involved. So, I'm going to come to you as the man here. Why do men cheat?
Men cheat. Is this when you've caught them or you're suspecting?
Generally,
Generally.
yes.
I think maybe let me start from when I'm a young man. So let's all take responsibility for the situation, both genders, yeah?
Yeah.
So when I'm a young man, I'm a good boy. My mother says, you're a good boy. Go to school and, you're a good boy. Do I do something in the house? Mommy says, Charles, you're a good boy. You see? So I'm so excited. Oh, if I do something good, I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
And it's good. When I get to school, I get confused. Because the girls there, in primary school, in secondary school, don't want a good boy.
They want a bad boy.
They want the bad boy.
Okay.
Now, since we all want to be needed, we're all developing. It's like, I want to be popular like that guy who's got his collars up and everything, and all the
afros
girls
and-
are going around him.
Okay.
I want a bit of that action. So now the good boy begins now to master a program for being a bad boy. So he becomes bad and bad. By the time he's now ready for university, he's now going to take his now degree in being bad. Now in that particular time, the ladies are also changing.
Yeah.
Why? Because after 21 to about 26 years old, they now in their development, they think they need a life partner. They want a man who's responsible, a man who's good. You see, not bad. A man who's good, a man who's thoughtful, responsible, all those attributes. So they want that man there. Now the man who used to be a good boy is now a bad boy. And he's getting very good at it. Because we're very habitual. We learn it very well. So we get confused now. When you want to date me, when we're both now 26, 27, 28, you want a good boy, but I'm just bad. Now, how do I recover from now trying to change from the thing you wanted? You wanted Mr. Bad Boy. Now you want me to be Mr. Good Boy. So already there's a crossroads in how we develop, sometimes in the gender situation. It's how we grow up. It's not an excuse, but it's how we grow up.
Okay. Thank you. What's your take on that?
Oh, bad boy image. No, what he's saying does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because even I remember when I was a teenager, I was always attracted to the bad boy image. You know, you really want the bad boy image.
Thank you for saying the truth.
Well, it's either reality hits in, or you want to still live in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
And I remember, as young as I was, because my parents wanted me to get married to a certain individual, and and everything looked, and you'd find there were times weekends we would go to their home as to visit, and they would come to ours and visit. And then what gave me the wake-up call was the bad boy's mother telling me that this boy is going to give you heartache. He's my son, but he'll give you heartache. If I were you, take your bag and run. And I did just that. I think I was only 15 or 16. And it's not something like that I did on my own. Our families kept on calling each other, you know, like they say asebele, which means like my mother and the young man's mother, they'll call each other mothers in marriage. Yeah, so it's something that started off like a joke was going to become very serious. But then after that, I just decided, you know what, I think it's time, let me go. So the bad boy image is always like the boy is popular, every girl wants him, and you don't want to be left out. You really don't want to be left out, you know. And so somehow, I know this, I'm going to step on a lot of toes. We are to blame for the men cheating because they've got this bad boy image, and we want to hold on to this bad boy image. And if you're forgetting, you want a bad boy image, and this bad boy wants to go out and show off to his friends, like, I can get any girl I want and do all that thing, and then
that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, and then that's what we want. And then afterwards, you find yourself in a love triangle.
Thank you very much. So another thing I'm going to ask you.
Yes.
If men can cheat, I believe women should also have right to cheat.
Yes, everyone has got the right to do what they want.
Thank you.
We are, like I put it before you one time, we are equal, but we are different.
Yeah.
We are the same. We may experience the same situation, but the outcome may be not the same.
Okay, let me put it in a better way. Whatever reason that the man has given, or whatever excuse he has given for the reason why he has to cheat, a woman too can also give the same excuse.
Same reason, yes.
But what I don't understand in this society that we have today, it's like women are being bashed, you know, for cheating, but while men are being forgiven. Why?
Yeah, that's a problem of gender politics.
Okay.
It's maybe obviously something that needs to be addressed, and something that must be refused, because there are certain things that even for you women, you've been accepting certain things for a long time.
That's it.
Yeah, so then it becomes part of you. Then it's a conflict. So for me, even this issue of saying why do men cheat it's coming from an environment. For men, some of our grandparents were in polygamous marriages.
Yeah.
So for them, it's not even cheating. It's just normal family planning. A man has 3 wives.
Yeah.
You know, that's general in society. You won't find a situation where a woman has got 3 husbands. So you see, so the way a man looks at cheating and the woman looks at cheating is different.
It's different.
It's different. When a man is in those type of situations, for the most part, it's really just because of the sex. You know, but for the women, sometimes it's more about the emotion. The woman will emotionally cheat, not because of just the sex. So we're going again at a divergence. So we really have to be a bit more careful about why do men cheat. But there's some environmental problems, how the man was raised. Did he see any fidelity in the uncles, the cousins, his own father? Did his father show, you know, how a man should be, you know, monogamous, committed to one woman, and be just that? Because that helps. But if that environment was also already toxic, then all those are legitimate reasons why should I hold on to a standard that I didn't see?
You know, I was talking to my partner about this topic about why do men cheat, and the first thing he said to me, who do they cheat with? I kept quiet. I wanted to talk more.
Yes.
I said, yeah, who do they cheat with? I said, what do you mean by who do they cheat with? He said, obviously, we're not cheating with ourselves. We're cheating with women. I said, yeah, I agree. You're cheating with women. He said, yeah. Why didn't you ask the women also to stop cheating? I said, really?
Yes.
But then, I sat down on my own in a quiet place. Then I like, you know what, I think I need to figure out a lot of things. Because what he said to me was, who do they cheat with? And that really got me. And it's actually true. Who do they cheat with? They cheat with women. My point is, women, we need to do better. The reason why these men are cheating continuously is because they know that whatever happens back home, they have women outside they can come and cheat with. They have women that will say, yes, I want you. And there is something I want women to learn. I want you to learn about women supporting women. It's very important. If women can learn to support women, there will be less broken home. And there will be less men that cheat. Because as a married man, if you're coming to me to sell, I'm not going to buy. I'm not going to buy. Okay, what is it you're coming to sell to me? You're coming to sell your wife to me. You're not coming to sell anything to me. You're coming to sell your wife that is at home to me. And whatever it is you're coming to say something about that wife. And believe me, as a woman outside, whatever you say to me about your wife is the thing I'm going to work on to get you. If you come out and tell me my wife is dirty, she doesn't know how to cook, believe me, I will spend all the money I have to learn how to cook. Even if I'm not neat, I will learn to be neat for you. Because I want you to see the better woman in me. Which is why I said women need to start supporting women. If a married man comes to you and says, my wife is this, my wife is that, believe me, marriage is not a bed of roses. And it's not going to be perfect every day. No. We are learning every day in marriage. Even if we dated for 7-10 years, we still can't know each other. We are knowing each other every day. And when situation arises, we get to know each other again. Because the way you get to handle it, the way I get to handle it, you're going to see the other side of me. But if you're coming out to sell your wife to me, that's not nice as a man. If you're coming out to tell me your wife's flaws, believe me, that is what I'm going to work upon. And I will make sure I get you away from that wife. Because what you're complaining about that wife, you will start seeing it in me. And don't forget the fact that I'm not also perfect. Because that thing you complain is the perfect side of me you're going to see. But you're still going to see my flaws as well. Because that wasn't me. I had to work on that for me to get you away from your wife. I've also got my flaws. So by the time you start seeing my own flaws, you move to another girl. You start telling the other girl my own flaws. And that is you moving from one woman to another. Before you know it, you've moved from your first wife to the second girl, to the third girl, to the fourth girl, forgetting the fact that we are all not perfect. So I'm going to say this to every woman out there. It is time we start supporting each other. I'm begging each one of you. We have enough broken homes. If you're thinking about these kids, you won't buy what all these men are selling. Think about the children. We were once children. I came from a polygamous home and I did not like it one bit. A lot of things went wrong. I did not like it. So I'm not going to stand and watch what happened to me to happen to all the children outside. Stop buying whatever it is they're coming to sell to you. If they say my wife is this, please be a good Samaritan. Send them back home. Call your wife. Sit her down. Work on it. Because me that you're coming to meet, believe me, we are all thieves. If you're the rich type, I won't let you go back home. I would want to eat your money and work on that thing you're complaining, forgetting that I'm not even there for you. At the end of the day, I'm not being perfect for who I'm going to get married to. Because whatever I did to win your heart, I only heard from you and I work on it. That wasn't me. You don't even know that your wife that is at home is even better than the mistress outside. Thinking because what your wife does not do at home, she's doing it. No, you are the one that sold your wife to her. So she's going to do better than your wife. She's got her own flaws somewhere. Please, women, we have to start supporting each other women. Say, men are not going to stop cheating. It will not stop. Not in this generation, not in the next generation to come. It's not going to stop. But women, we can stop it. We can reduce it. If only mothers take their time in raising good women. A lot of mothers have sold their children because of money. You see them doing the wrong thing, but you cannot talk. Poverty is not the end of life. There are people that doesn't have money and they are very, very okay in life. They are happy. Happiness should come first and not money. Material things shouldn't come first. Please, let's start supporting each other. It is very important. I'm tired of broken homes. You know, a lot of women come in my inbox and what they get to say is, how my husband has been cheating on me for the past 10 years. And you know what? I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. Who do they cheat with? Women. Who do you think is breaking their home? Women. It's not the men, I'm telling you. But you know what? We can send most married men back to their house. We can send them back to their home. If we can stand on our feet and say, no, go back and work on your wife. It's going to get better. So, wow. That is my own opinion. So I'm going to say to you.
That was a very fire opinion. But I also want to remind you that there are things that women say in the conversations. Maybe even children are listening to it as they are growing. Things like, don't worry, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
And girls will be girls.
And girls will be girls.
That's it.
So you're already like legitimizing why a boy should walk in lower standards. Okay? Or you say, don't, like you said it a bit, because it's in the conversation. You said the men will never stop cheating. So why am I here then? Because men will never stop cheating.
You know?
Wow.
Only the women can solve it. So if you remove me from the problem, from the solving of this problem will always be with you.
Yeah, you're right.
But have the hope that we can work together, okay, to solve this problem.
You know, there's an article I wrote a few days ago, and they said something that men aren't born cheat. Men.
No, we're not
born cheats.
No, we're not born cheats.
Men are not born. It's like saying you're born a thief. Nobody was born a thief.
Nobody. So men are born cheats.
So something happens in the conditioning of life.
Exactly. So
men aren't even born polygamous in nature.
So really what I wanted to also put across to you is because there's the part where a man is personally responsible.
Yeah.
I am personally responsible for whether I'm going to cheat or not. Before whatever you're going to do, you as my spouse or my girlfriend, me first personally, I'm personally responsible. I must come to a place of said, why should I, this relationship I'm in, why should I bring in somebody else in this one? If I really can't stand where I am, why not dissolve where I am? And then finally move on.
Exactly.
But because of selfishness, greed, insensitivity,
You see?
and really just being a person of low thinking, we must accept sometimes that when we are making a mistake, that we're in a place of low thinking. So anyone, if you know you're cheating, you just remember that you're in a place of low thinking.
Wow.
So to raise your thinking is to say, I think I'm better than this.
Yeah.
I can do better because I'll be causing a lot of hate and heartache to other people, including the person who loves me. Okay? So there's the part of personal responsibility. But at the same time of that part of responsibility, the person that you live with or you're in a relationship with can actually make life hard.
I think it, like you rightly said, nobody was born a cheat.
No.
And sometimes we all find ourselves in circumstances that we have no control over. So you find that somebody will go out and do something that is not, they don't want to do it, but they find themselves doing it. But like you're saying, as women, if we don't support one another, we are not helping the situation in any shape or form. For me, I'm a widow now, and I had a wonderful man in my life. And this man, there were times he would call me and says, "Oh honey, I'm meeting up for a drink with the boys. This is a Friday." And I'm thinking, yes, time to myself in the house. I want to cook, I want to do this. Believe me, 7:30 my husband is back home, and I'm thinking, the drink is over. Why are you back so soon? It's like I was trying to chase him away from the home. But the man just decided, no matter what you say, I'm coming back home at 7:30. So I didn't know anything other than my husband, when he's going out for drinks with his friends, he's back home by 7:30. I didn't know anything other than when my husband leaves work, he's walking on 6 on the dot. I'll be in the house, right next to him. He'll be FaceTiming me because I'm sat next to him. He's got side view and he wants to see my face. So he'll FaceTime me. That's what I knew. That's what I knew what a marriage was. I'm not saying our marriage was perfect. We had our little flaws, just like every married couple does. You have your little arguments and you have this, but you find a way of resolving them. And he never went to a point where he wanted to hurt me. That's one thing that was the last thing on his agenda. That was the last thing on his agenda. If a woman spoke to my husband, we went out, a woman spoke to my husband would tell her, hold on, we'll continue the conversation. He will continue talking to other people. And then he says, oh, you wanted to give me a phone number. Can you please now hand it over to my wife? That was the man I was married to. So I did not know anything other than that. So when now, because I'm a widow, you find people who pick up the phone and call you, can I come over to your house for a cup of coffee? Can I come over to your house to cook for me? And I'm thinking, the last man I cooked for is 6 feet under. My child will tell you, if I get up and say, today I'm standing at the stove, everybody will ask me in the house, Mom, are you okay? Mom, are you okay? And for me, the way my husband was, that's what I'm trying to install in my son for his wife.
That's good.
For him to realize that you have chosen this person to have and to hold, for better, for worse. So even if it gets worse, do not stray from the path you're on. That's the journey you have chosen yourself, that you're going to be on this journey. Like now, I tell most of my girlfriends, I'm on a journey that's taking me in one direction now. It's not like I'm looking for someone to come and replace my husband, because there won't be anybody to come and replace Joe. I'm not ready to start seeing someone and then make that person, that individual, live in the shadow of my late husband. So I'm being a role model for my girls. And I'm also trying to be a role model for my sons. For them to see that they're in life, when you say I'm on this path, that's the path you're going to stay on, and that's the path that you're going to walk. These are distractions. I call them hurdles. They're just small distractions. They'll always come, you know. So it's up to you. Do you want to get off at that bus stop and remove from the path that you've been placed on? What decision do you want to take?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Another thing I want to say before I come to you is, I don't want the men thinking I'm blaming them alone. See, the most reason why some men cheat are because of the women. Some women, because of this gender equality that we claim, like, you know, we're saying something before we go to the studio, that what a man can do, a woman can do better. No. I don't agree with that, and I will never agree with that. There is a reason why they are men, and there's a reason why we're women. There are some things I can do better that the men cannot do. And there are things that the men can do that I cannot do better, whether I like it or not, whether I have all the money in this world. So this saying that what a man can do, a woman can do it better, I seriously need to stop. We will never be men. Women will never be men, and men will never be women. It's high time we start respecting that. There are things I can do that I know my husband will never be able to do, whether he likes it or not. That is how it is. There is a reason why we have been born differently. There is a reason why you came to this world as a man, and the reason why I came to this world as a woman. God made it like that. So no man should come to me and say, whatever it is you can do, Josephine, I can do better. No, hell no. I don't agree with that. And women, please, forget about this thing. No, there's this thing going on social media. You see a lot of ladies come online, you know, to flaunt their wealth and riches and everything, saying, I've got it all. I've got this, I've got that. These are the ladies that use the phrase, what a man can do, a man can do it better. I'm saying it to you girls right now, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Men will always be men. Men will always be men. And I need us women to respect our husbands at home. Please, it is important to respect our husbands at home. You know, you can imagine if you are the trouble type, you don't listen to your husband, you don't respect your husband, you do whatever it is you like at home. I just want you to know that you're pushing this man outside. And men will always go to wherever they will find peace.
Yes. That's definitely the case.
So before you start shouting, side chick, side chick, side chick, please think about what it is you're doing wrong. Don't just start screaming side chick up and down. I'm not going to give any reason for my husband to cheat, because I know what it takes to hold a home. I know what I was signing into when I haven't said yes I do, but I know what I will be signing into by the time I said yes I do. It's not going to be easy, but we are going to try to make it easy.
Work together.
Yeah.
We're going to work together. But most marriages now, you see the men and women, they don't want to work together. Because women are like, no, you need to do this, you need to do this. And men as well, I'm begging you. Household chores shouldn't be alone for the women. We need help. So if you're leaving everything to the women to do all the time, we are the one that looks after the house. We still go to work. We look after you. We look after the children. And you yourself, you're also a baby. So if I've got 2 kids and you are the third, I've got 3 babies in the house. So if you're expecting me to clean the house, to do everything, to still go to work, believe me, I will be one off, I will be tired. So those things you want to get from me as a wife, you won't get it. I've got kids. By the time you go out to side chick, don't forget this side chick does not have any child to look after. So definitely you will get all the things you want to get from her, forgetting the fact that I am at home and I need help. So if you don't help me, how do you want to come home to a clean environment?
I think the issue of disrespect is there. Because if my husband comes home and he doesn't find any food or anything, the house is dirty, the house, nothing has been done, and I'm forcing him out, like you said.
Of course.
Yeah. So there's an issue of respect. So what is it that you're trying to achieve? When you said I do, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Were you trying to just gain the status that, oh, look at me, I'm married, and check the bling on my finger? No. Is that what it is you're looking for? It's not a competition. When you decide I'm settling down, I'm getting married, I'm going to be that rib that God took out of him, that's me here. You need to make sure you stand by your man.
Yeah.
And don't lose the respect, because once your husband comes home and you're sat on the table and you have the remote control and you're pointing to your TV remote control, hi, you don't even ask your husband, how was your day? No, hi, if you want to eat, you can cook something for yourself in the kitchen. What do you think he's going to do?
Of course.
He'll get up and go.
It's really true. I think we work so much to get married, but then we work so little to keep the marriage going.
Yeah.
So you find that, like I said before, there's the aspect that I'm personally responsible. But the person I'm with can make my life hell, or difficult, or challenging. But then to what extent are you expecting me to still be in that situation for the sake of me just being responsible? Okay, because if you do not know that an unattended man is not a happy man.
True.
Okay, so eventually the person will need to find help elsewhere. And other people will be able to take on that help willingly. So you are creating an opportunity for the person to cheat. I'm not justifying it. I'm saying you're creating the opportunity for, suppose people want to be loved. You find this same thing you said about men not being very, very hopeful in the home.
Yeah.
Okay, especially like where we live in the Western world here. You have to share some responsibilities in the house so that you are all healthy. Because before in the village, the men went hunting, the women did domestics. Okay, but the men where they went, by the way, they cooked. Don't think they didn't cook, they didn't take care of themselves, they came back. But now today, both man and woman are hunting. So therefore, when they both come back in the house, they must be able
both have responsibilities to do
a few things.
Yeah,
but even in that same situation, sometimes women miss it. There are some women who've got a very good man who can cook, who can do everything that you can imagine in the house.
They take advantage.
Okay, and they can take advantage of him. They can stop looking at him as that physical macho man who's, now when maybe she comes home, she finds maybe he's even done changing the nappies like some of us do, and so on and so forth. Her fantasy is with her people she's working with at home. There's this guy who is always in a suit, goes on holiday, you know, with his six-pack and everything. So you find that these are the opportunities of cheating. And me, I only see cheating in this way. For example, in the man and woman situation, the woman will say it's cheating because she's found him out. The man is not seeing it as cheating. That's like, I found an escape for me to enjoy what I would not generally enjoy. So where are we missing?
You know, there was something, a lady called me last week and she was crying and talking to me and everything. And there is something that she said. She said, oh, she's got 3 kids now. She said to me, Josephine, seriously, when next are you going to the gym? I said, no. I said, I haven't been to the gym for quite a while now. He said, I need to eat the gym. I said, all of a sudden, why do you want to eat the gym? He said, you know what? My husband started dating this young, skinny girl. I said, really? How did you find out? Said, oh, he doesn't even hide it anymore. So because whenever he comes home, what he say to me, look at how fat you are. No, this is not how I married you. I don't want the fat girl. I don't want a fat girl for my wife. You're too fat. I said, oh, really? And you know what? I just want to say to all these pastors or whoever it is that hold this marriage, stop saying for better, for worse, because it's not working.
Well, for me, let me tell you one thing.
I think that was intended, that was really intended for something good. For better, for worse is both of you, in marriage you find challenges. Maybe you're going to fall ill. Maybe you're going to some things. Maybe your spouse is going to lose their father or mother. So you're going to have this situation whereby something is going to be on you that both of you have to work together as a team to fight against.
Against it, yeah.
So that's what for better, for worse means. It does not mean...
It means a lot to me. I know that's to you. See, for better, for worse to me. Maybe you married me as a size 8. And after having 4 babies, I turned to size 14. It's for better, for worse. Please.
Oh,
because
yes,
these
definitely.
kids, they are your babies. They are the one that... You know, I gave birth to them for both of us. And obviously, there's going to be a change in my body. You know, there are some women that have got kids and they're still skinny. And we have some that after kids, there's this transition in their body that they change being from size 10 to size 14. I'm not saying it's not a good thing to eat the gym, trying to get your shape back. But a man now coming home to me to tell me, because I'm size 14 now, I'm going outside to look for a young girl that is size 10. That's not nice. See, we said for better, for worse. Whether I'm size 16 or 14, you should help me going to the gym together. You know, help me to lose this weight rather than going out.
A man who's going to say that to his wife,
he's insensitive.
He's very insensitive.
No, that man is insane.
He's insensitive and actually very selfish. And because he may say those things, and then tomorrow he wakes up and comes back from hospital with his legs chopped off from an accident. What then? Does he become less valuable?
No. If a man should treat me like that and that happened to him, I'll just tell his family to come and pick him up.
That's what I'm saying.
No. You don't do that. You don't do that.
This is a man that neglected me, that brought another woman home in front of me because I was not the woman he married. I'm also going to tell him, sorry, sweetie, sorry, honey, you are not the man I married as well. Which is why I said, if we're saying for better, for worse, please think very well before saying, yes, I do to this, because what you do to me, I'll do to you.
You don't do that. You know, the thing is, like we've already said that. Someone who's going to say that you have gained weight is really insensitive.
Not in his right mind. He
should have known from the word go that this person is going to go through body changes.
Many changes.
When a woman conceives and she gives birth, her body is going through a transformation.
You know, this lady said
forget about the change. It's not a change. It's a transformation that you are going through. There are some women, like, I'll give an example. I'll use myself as an example. Yeah. I was very, very blessed. Went 3 times to lab ward. 3 children I had. I never gained weight until one day, 21 years later, I woke up and I was big. And I was thinking, oh my days, what's happening? I tried going to the gym and my husband told me, I don't know why you are punishing yourself. Mother Nature is telling you that you are aging gracefully.
I'm going to ask you a question quickly. Did you went to church and the pastor prayed for you
For
and there was a
weight?
miracle for you to have been big?
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
Because when I started gaining the weight, it was close to 21, 22 years after my last child was born. That's when I started gaining the weight. And the only time my husband ever spoke about my weight was when it became a health concern.
Yeah.
He did not tell me to go to the gym. All the man said to me was, there'll be too much of you to love. And I looked at him, I said, are you calling me fat? He says, I didn't call you fat.
You see?
He was very sensitive.
Yeah, he was very sensitive. I said, what do you mean there'll be too much for me to love? That's when I realized, when I looked at my clothes, I was hitting size 22 and I'm thinking,
Wow.
I went to the GP. The GP tells me your cholesterol is high. Your this is high. I didn't have to lose weight. I just changed the way I was eating. And my husband joined me in the change of the way I ate. That is why, I sort of like shrunk down to a size 16 and I've stayed there. You know what I mean? But for a man to tell a wife, I don't like you because you've gained weight and, look at your friends. So that's their body type.
The lady actually said something to me that she has a friend that's got 4 kids and she still remain a size.
That's her body type.
So her husband always
blessed.
refer her that look at that your friend. Look at your friend.
It's very true.
I want men to understand that our genes are different. My mom's got 6 kids, and if you see my mom, you won't believe she's got 6 kids. She's size 12 or 14.
In that same argument you're saying, so if the man, because there's a time when the man hits 40 years old and starts going this way to 50 to 60.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just pick up this pot belly that he cannot get rid of.
Yeah, they love fashion.
So does it mean that the wife should also upgrade and get the six-pack gym boy? So there are some things, this is one thing about these relationships, that sometimes be mindful that whatever you think you are doing, if your friend does it, how is it going to be like for you?
Thank you very much.
What you're doing, if your friend does it,
how are you going to take it?
How are you going to take it?
Thank you.
So what do we need to do? We need to have better relationships so we can remove this equation for cheating. Because one thing that happens is we are happy to get married, like I said. But when we are married, we begin now to live like roommates. We let life, even children can become the enemy of your marriage.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes women, you put so much into the children that the man, is left a bit on the side.
You're right.
So you put on some, and maybe also chasing your careers. Maybe the man flies out too much. So all these things are pulling away from your marriage. And actually, there's surprising statistics that show that after you've raised the kids and the kids leave the house, you only to find out that your wife is actually a stranger. Because all the time you're fighting for the mortgage, the children, now all these things you're fighting for are out. But the person you were living with, you didn't have enough time with them to build your marriage.
Thank you very much. And before I round up today, I just want you to say one or two things, to the men outside there that cheat. What can we do as women and as men to stop this thing? Because cheating has led to a lot of broken homes. So I just want you to quickly round it up before I close so I can come to Jackie.
Okay. I think I'll speak to the men,
look to the camera
my brothers. My brothers, we are going to be grandfathers, we are uncles, we are brothers to each other. And we need to speak a strong voice to our sons. It's about standards, a legacy. Some things have happened in the past. Some of us were born, maybe some of you were even born from outside relationships. But you are alive now. So it means you can make your own, like a living prophecy. Really, I'm asking you men, my friends, to say we can do better. We can remove this name that's been put on us that, men will be like dogs. No, we are not. We can be more responsible, we can be more loving, we can be more caring. And certainly we can, put this fidelity thing behind us. Love the woman you've chosen. Take care of her. It's very simple to destroy something, but it's very hard to build something. So to the real men, those who want to build, continue building.
Thank you.
For those of you men who are trying to destroy and think you're a champion, these days will soon come over. You're going to be an old fool. And there's nothing like an old fool. So while you're young, make sure you're building a legacy that will help your family go from strength to strength, so that within your family, when somebody wants to know what it is to be a real man, I don't mean a man who's got a big wallet, a big car, big bank accounts. No, I mean a moral mind, a moral strong man. They will come to you. They will know that those white hairs are white hairs of wisdom, not white hairs of the number of infidelities.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I like that. And I'm going to come to you to, to sum it up. So what do you think women can do to keep their man?
The aspect of respect has to be there. And the other thing is, women, you need to take a stand and say no. As much as the man will come up to you and he's offering you all these beautiful things, you need to stand united with your fellow women and say no, because causing pain in somebody else's life, what gain, what happiness do you have? Someone is crying and shedding tears because you are causing pain in their life. It's not worth it. Imagine this one going down on her knees and asking God to come and sort out her problems. Do you really want to take on God and fight against God for the pain you're causing other people's women? One day you will find yourself in that situation. You are now the first lady of the house, and then your husband does the same thing. How would you feel if that was you when the shoe is on the other foot? Think about the children. It's not easy to raise children from a broken home. It's very, very difficult because there are a lot of issues that have to be tackled. So women, let's stand united. We pray together. When strong women come together and say no to dating married men, a lot of great things happen.
Yes.
A lot of great things happen. Stand firm. Know your worth. Be a woman of substance that God made you to be. And things will be all right.
Thank you very much. Before I round this up, there is something I quickly want to talk about that happened on the internet, I think a few days ago. It's about this popular Nigerian music called Duncan Mighty, I think if I'm right. He was having a live shows and he said that he was going to give 50K to any woman that can come online naked.
Whoa.
And, it was a live show. And to my surprise, there was this very lady that came online. She started touching her boobs, touching her all private parts. And the guy said, oh, you won the 50K. This thing has been going viral online, and I'm quickly going to address it. People were blaming the men. And to me, I said something I wrote online. I said, do I blame the man? No. Do I blame the girl? Yes. Why? I blame the girl because she was lost for money. 50K was what that made her did that. Forgetting the fact that you're going to be someone's wife one day. You're someone's daughter. You're going to be someone's mother. How could you come online naked because a man you don't know from anywhere offered you 50K to come online, show your naked parts? Our naked parts are meant to be respected. Even the Bible says it. Sacred. It is meant to be respected. Don't lose your value because of money. I'm not going to blame this man because at the end of the day, he's a father. He's a son to someone, so he has no respect. Which is why I have nothing to say to this singer. If he has respect for women in the first place, he's not going to come online and says he's going to offer you 50K to come naked. He has lost it. But for the lady, you have no respect either for yourself, for your family, or for your children. How dare you come naked? It hasn't got to this. We women need to start doing better. We need to start raising our standard. Money is never going to be everything. Please, stop this. Money is not going to be everything. When you die, you're not going to go with that money. You're not going to go with that material things. So start doing something good for yourself. And these men are going to respect us.
Yes.
And to my last part about the women, what can we do? Even the Bible said that men, the Bible said men love your wife. And what did it say to the women? It said respect your husband. I'm going to quote the word again, respect. The Bible did not say love your man. It said respect your husband. Do you know why the Bible said that? It's because we are not equal. We are not equal. If you respect your husband is going to love you eventually. You know, even look at the kids that we're giving birth to. The ones that respect their father, we know how our father treats us because we show them respect. A woman that does not show her husband respect will get nothing in return. If you're claiming, I love you too, you love me too, that is you claiming equality. And you will never get anything out of that marriage. Please, I'm begging women, we need to start learning how to respect our men. Irrespective of everything, anything. No matter what, even if you're richer than your husband, we still need to respect them. There is a reason why the Bible said, respect your men, respect your husband. So thank you today for joining us in this beautiful, lovely edition of Women Issue. I'll be back here same time next week. And thank you to my wonderful guest. I thank you for coming. Thank you too for coming. And for the lady that called in, thank you so much. Your contribution was lovely. I remain your humble, beautiful Josephine. I'll be back same time next week. Thank you. Bye for now.
My daughter-in-law. So how are you planning for my son's birthday? I have to cook for her. Do you people have ogirisi there? No. It's okay. Okay, let me call you back. Mama Chijuke. Hi, sir. Wait a market. Please pack some ogirisi. I am going to visit my son. My daughter-in-law. It's arranged. But you must use original red oil to prepare the soup. What? I'll call you back. Mama Chijo, please include Isio Morocco. My daughter-in-law. Everything is now set. But don't forget that gold wristwatch I saw the last time I visited.
Now you can talk until you tire for just 11 kobo a second. Call all networks in Nigeria and 30 international destinations, including US, UK, China, Canada, and India for just 11 kobo per second. Dial *211# to activate.
That's it, boo-boo.
The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Tolu A. Akinyemi, a renowned poet, author, and performer, brings to us Dead Cats Don't Meow, a metrical masterpiece which invokes love and respect for life. Dead Cats Don't Meow is his first published work and third collection in his poetry for the Discerning series, after Dead Lions Don't Roar and Dead Dogs Don't Bark. Tolu shares his gift of writing with people far and wide. Recently, he received an endorsement as a writer with exceptional talent from the Arts Council England. Each poem examines a part of life, a sensation, a reaction, or an emotion. Individually, the verses breathe their own beat, while the collection knits together perfectly to present an idyllic anthology. Dead Cats Don't Meow is written to help you find your own voice in a world with a cacophony of voices. Join Tolu A. Akinyemi at one of the 4 events to celebrate the launch of Dead Cats Don't Meow. Thursday, April 4, 2019, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Poetry Cafe, the Poetry Society, 22 Betterton Street, Covent Garden, London. Saturday, April 13th, 2019, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Musen Center Function Room, 8 and 9 Marina Road, Onikan, Lagos, Nigeria. Thursday, May 2, 2019, 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. The Leeds and Phil, 23 Westgate Road, Newcastle upon Tyne. Thursday, May 9, 2019, 5:45 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. The Avenue Library and Learning Center, 9 Victoria Avenue East, Blackley, Manchester. RSVP, tolutoludo.com. Dead Cats Don't Meow is available at Waterstones, Barnes & Noble, eBay, Amazon, Patabar, and other outlets.